So good evening, YouTube. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It would have been better if we had got a win yesterday, but unfortunately, that's life. You can't always have what you want, can you? But I'm going to go through some player ratings in a minute. Just been watching some of the Man City Villa game. Mahrez doing what Mahrez does. Should have signed him, but never mind. We just have to go with what we go with. But before getting to player ratings, I just want to do a little review of yesterday's game. I thought that Mikel Arteta picked the right team. I think that you go with the same team that won against Man United. Why change a winning team? You know, it was a team that kept a clean sheet. It was a team that looked hungry. They looked like they were determined. They were on it, and collectively they played extremely well against Man United. So yeah, fair play. He picked the same 11, which is what I've said he should be doing, which is what I've said that Arsenal managers over the last year or so should be doing. That was the first time we've picked back-to-back starting 11s exactly the same for 12 months. And that is one of the reasons why we're not so good, because we keep chopping and changing players every week. Obviously, Aubameyang got sent off. I've seen a lot of people saying it was soft, it was this, it weren't intentional. It's a straight red card. He could have broke the geezer's ankle. It's not like he won the ball and then the follow-through caught him. It was he caught him and didn't get anywhere near the ball, and the geezer's leg nearly snapped in half, or his ankle, sorry. It was a straight red. I don't even know what took VAR nearly 4 minutes to decide that that was a straight red. I see one replay of it within 5 seconds of it happening, and it's a straight red. So I don't kind of get what took so long with that. I don't also understand why they didn't add on so much extra time at the end of the game. With all the substitutions that happened, with all the stoppages in play, with VAR, there was another VAR incident as well. You know, it was just it should have been about 7 or 8 minutes stoppage time, but they didn't. They added on 4 minutes. That's not the reason we didn't win the game, by the way. I'm just making a point. I thought Maitland-Niles was superb. I thought he was man of the match. Literally pocketed Zaha. Zaha didn't do anything. He normally turns up against us. Lucas Torreira, I thought that he was superb in the first half. At half-time, he was man of the match, or man of the first half. And it changed the game when he went off. Obviously, we brought Guendouzi on, and that made us the weakest three in midfield in the Premier League, with Xhaka, Mesut Ozil and Guendouzi. Not one of them has got any physicality between them. So yeah, they overrun us in midfield in that second half. And I was sitting there crying out for Ozil to come off for 10 minutes before he did, maybe 15. I said that we should have got Martinelli on. We should have took Lacazette off. Don't know why he stayed on for 89 minutes or whatever it was. And in the end, Arteta made the decision to take Ozil off when it was too late. Aubameyang had then got the red card, and it was a case of, oh, let's get Martinelli on now. Well, that should have happened 10 minutes earlier. Mesut was a passenger in that game. Xhaka, I've seen people saying Xhaka played well. He played all right. Don't get me wrong, he weren't great. The way people were going on about him yesterday, Jesus Christ, I must have watched a different game. But listen, Lacazette, again, lack of threat. He gets away with no criticism again, because he got an assist. Yeah, it was a straight pass. It was a good pass, but it was a straight pass. Other than that, what did he actually do again? And it's getting to the point where Lacazette, I mean, I know there's a story that's broken today. I've seen it about he's been cheating or saying. Whether that's true or not, who knows? But that's not the reason he's been playing crap, let's be real. Unless he's been staying up having a little bit of sexercise in the evenings until about 4 a.m. And that's probably why he don't look like he's on it at the moment. But yeah, it's not been great. It's not been great to watch Lacazette recently. And there's definitely something up with him. I can't quite figure out what it is. People are saying it's lack of confidence. I'm not so sure it is lack of confidence. The geezer scored about 3 goals in 2 games the other week, or 4 goals in 3 games, whatever it was. So I don't think it's a lack of confidence. He just looks angry. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's not playing how he would normally play. I don't like the fact that Aubameyang's stuck on the left wing. I think that's just a waste. And the thing is, if he wasn't on the left wing, he wouldn't have made that tackle yesterday. So yeah, all in all, it weren't great. But the positive was Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles was fantastic, and he's really growing into that right-back position. And Hector's got no chance at the minute. Even when he's back fully fit, I don't see him getting in over Maitland-Niles. And that's a decision we've got to take in the summer. Do we keep Hector Bellerin, or do we move him on? For me, I'd move him on. I'd go and buy Max Aarons. I'd even do it this window if we could. Maybe even go and buy Max Aarons and then keep Bella until the summer, so when he is fully fit, and then we can get rid of him. Because let's be honest here, the way we play and the way we've played under Arteta, we don't need these left and right backs bombing stupidly far forward. I mean, Maitland-Niles barely went over halfway yesterday. He was very good defensively, and he was aware that that Zaha's a threat. So he stayed back and he done his defensive duties. On the other side, Kolasinac, I thought he played all right. He was the one that was going forward yesterday, and Maitland-Niles was staying back a little bit. But let's have it right. That Crystal Palace team ain't all that. They were without their best players, Van Aanholt, Milivojevic, Jeffrey Schlupp. There's 3 of their first team players that were out, and we scrambled a draw. I know we done it with 10 men in the end, but I thought it was shocking, if I'm honest. Lack of ideas, lack of penetration, lack of any sort of, I don't know, just any va-va-voom, as Thierry Henry would say. First 25 minutes, I thought we were really good, and it looked like, yes, we're on it. And if we can do this against Palace like we did against Man United, Palace haven't got the quality that Man United have got going forward. So if Man United couldn't deal with it, then Palace shouldn't be able to deal with it. But after 25 minutes and we get the goal, and it was a great finish from Aubameyang, we then just took our foot off the gas, sat back and said, well, come on to us then. And I didn't like that. And I see Arteta come out after the game saying the way we conceded that goal was not nice. It's not what I wanted to do. I was angry with it, etc., etc. Well, listen, you better work on it in training then. I'm not blaming David Luiz for that goal. I'm not really going to blame anybody, but Nicola Pepe was just standing there looking at him. Yeah, he didn't go to him. He was just standing with his arms out like this before he even kicked the ball. And it was like, why didn't you go to him? As for the referee, I just want to, before I get into player ratings, go on about the referee. That referee was a joke yesterday. How many fouls did Ayew do? I think it was at 6 or 7. He didn't get booked. There was other tackles flying in on our players. The one that Zaha pushed, he pushed Pepe into Torreira, which then ended up with Torreira getting injured, which is why he went off. Why didn't Zaha get booked for that? You know, I don't understand that. But listen, in the end, a draw was probably the right result, although Socrates cleared one off the line. They then appealed for handball with Maitland-Niles. It ain't handball. But we could have lost that game. And listen, last season, we might have lost that game. The season before, we might have lost that game. But I just think that, you know, I look at it and people were celebrating a draw because it was 10 men. Well, sorry, that's the mentality, is it? Yeah, it's not good enough. It was an away game against Crystal Palace, and a Crystal Palace team without a lot of their first teamers. So for me, I just thought it was really poor. The same as it was against Bournemouth. You know, the 2 games sandwiched in between that in the league, I thought we've been really good, Chelsea and Man United. But then that asks the question, can they only get up for the big games? In fact, we know the answer. They can only get up when they feel like it. You know, which is why we're in this mess in the first place, because they've took the wholesale mick out of 3 managers before Arteta. You know, they're down tools for Wenger, they're down tools for Emery in the end. They didn't even pick their tools back up for Freddie, let's be real. But listen, we move on. We're now without Aubameyang for 3 games. He's got his first ever straight red card in his career. And now we're without him going to Stamford Bridge in a couple of weeks, or it was just over a week, and Tuesday, a week Tuesday. We've got Sheffield United at home without him, and then Bournemouth in the cup without him. So lack of threat, better start stepping up. And same with Pepe. I thought Pepe was poor yesterday. You know, and I don't know how long Torreira's going to be out for, but we need him back real quick because he's stepped up recently and he's been our best midfielder. And yeah, there we go. Anyway, do drive the likes up. 260 people watching this live. Thank you very much. I know there's a game of football on. Man City are 3-0 up against Aston Villa. So I won't keep you too much longer, but do drive the likes up. And I'll go through these player ratings real quick. Let me read these 2 out before they disappear. Thank you to Highbury. Replace Ozil. He is shit. Well, listen, I'll come to that in a minute when I do my player ratings. Laka probably staying up late nights crying for his girl he cheated on to take him back, says Sergio. Well, listen, if that story is true, I've got no sympathy for him, mate. At the end of the day, you don't do that. You don't cheat on people, man. If that happened to him, I'm sure he'd feel like shit as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So if that is true, I've seen people today saying, so what? Okay, says what? Your missus goes and cheats on you. You'd be happy with that then? Like, because it's Lacazette, he gets away with it. Well, no, he's a cheat. If that's true, he's a cheat. And that's out of order. Yeah, don't change his footballing ability, by the way, and it shouldn't even come into his football. But at the same time, he's a high-profile player who's not in form at the minute, who's taken a lot of money out of the club for no performance all season. And then that story comes out, and you could say, okay, maybe he is staying up late. I don't know. Whatever floats his boat and all that. But listen, I'm going to get into player ratings if I can find them. Where did I write them down? Where did I write them down? Ah, there we go. Yes. Let me just make sure I've done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 3 subs. Yes, let's go. Right, Leno. Leno didn't really have a great deal to do, really. He was nowhere near for the goal, not his fault. It's just one of them things. It looped up and it went in. I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he did anything good or bad or indifferent. I thought that his distribution was all right. I like the fact that in the second half, he told him to run up the pitch rather than doing the passing out from the back rubbish that I don't like. There's a time and a place to do that. The time and the place is not when you're 1-0 up and you're being 1-1 and you're being dominated and being pressed back. That's not the time to do this passing out from the back. But I'm going to give him a 5. I don't think, like I said, that he was great. I don't think he was bad. It was just he had nothing to do. So a 5. Let's go on to Maitland-Niles. Like I said, I thought he was man of the match. As I sip my tea, man of the match, I thought he was absolutely superb. And I like the fact that he's at right back, and I like the fact that he's grasping his opportunity and he's making that position his own. Fair play to him. He's not a right back, but he's definitely turning into a right back. That's for sure. Omar says, De Bruyne's been unreal again. Well, that's a proper number 10, my friend. That's a proper number 10. So I'm going to give Maitland-Niles an 8. Offensively, he did nothing. Defensively, which is his job, he pocketed one of the better players for Crystal Palace, if not their best player. So he was the best player that started for him yesterday, put it that way. But yeah, he didn't do nothing so hard, and he was getting the ump all the way through the game, and that's credit to Maitland-Niles. So I'm going to give him an 8. Man of the match. Kolasinac on the opposite side. He was a threat going forward. His crossing still not amazing, although he did put a couple of nice ones in the box in the first half, but nobody really read him. He whipped some really nice balls into that box in the first half, 2 or 3 that he done. Defensively, I thought he looked a lot better today. It looks like the Kolasinac that we signed. High energy, physical, wants to get in, barge people off the ball. And where's he been for 2.5 years? Like, why have we not seen that version of him? I thought he was good yesterday, though, so I'm going to mark him a 7. Socrates, didn't really notice him, if I'm honest, until he cleared the ball off the line. And for that alone, he gets marks because that stopped the goal. It stopped them going in front. And like I said, I didn't really see him. So I would have marked him a 5 because I didn't really see anything good or bad from him. Same as Leno, if I'm honest. But because he cleared that off the line, I'll give him a 6. David Luiz, I thought he was fantastic again yesterday. Not quite as good as Maitland-Niles, but I'm going to score him the same as Maitland-Niles. I don't think Maitland-Niles was quite worth a 9. I don't think David Luiz was worth less than an 8. So yeah, 8 for Luiz. Lucas Torreira. Well, obviously I'm only going to mark him on his first half performance, but he was man of the match at half time. So I'm going to give him for his first half performance a 9. Obviously he didn't play the second half, so can only mark him on one half. To say whether he would have carried on like that in the second half is a big question, isn't it? You don't know. But for his first half performance, I'll give him a 9. Granit Xhaka. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people saying that he was superb yesterday. He was this, he was that. I don't think he was that great. He wasn't poor. Don't get me wrong. I thought he actually played reasonably well. But I don't know, the way that there's a little love fest for Granit Xhaka all of a sudden. I don't really understand it, if I'm honest. Yes, he's playing well. Yes, he's pinging the balls down the wing. But surely that's what we bought him for, isn't it? So, like, when he's got time and space, surely he should be able to find a 60-yard diagonal. But I don't think he was that great. He put us in trouble a couple of times with sloppy passing. I'm going to give him a 6. Let's move on to Mesut Ozil. Maybe I should go and get the rum and coke out instead of the tea. Mesut Ozil. What did he do? Apart from duck out of a header once in the first half, duck out of a challenge in the second half, pretend to press, And when I say pretend to press, this is something I've said for a long time about Ozil. People say, oh, but he runs a lot of distance. Oh, yeah, he ran 11 kilometres or whatever it was the other day. Whoopie-doo. That's what he should be doing. He's a midfielder. I'd expect a midfielder to run a lot of distance. What he didn't do yesterday, which is saying he did do against Man United and Chelsea, is closing people down and running with purpose and with intensity. Where was that yesterday? What, can he only do it for 2 games and then that's back to Ozil of old? Because against Leeds he was crap and yesterday he was crap. If we had 2 performances out of him and that's it, all's forgiven. Well, for me it ain't. And that goes for Xhaka, that goes for Kolasinac as well. Just because you've played well recently doesn't mean it changes anything. It asks me the question, where the fuck have you been for 2-3 years? Yeah, because if you can do that, why haven't you been doing that? And if you can turn it on when you feel like it, sorry, you're surplus to requirements. We need people to turn it on every single week, not once in a blue moon. So Mesut Ozil, he wasn't the worst player on the pitch, by the way. I'll come to that in a minute. I'm going to give him a 2 for putting his shirt on the right way round in each half. 1 apiece in each half. He gets a 2. Fucking useless. You look scruffy. I need a shave and a haircut, man. I can't even lie. I do look like a bit of a Roman today. But yeah, I need a shave and a haircut, man. Let's move on to Aubameyang. Aubameyang. Got the goal. Looked lively. Looked bright. Put some nice crosses into the box. His movement was good. And it's no coincidence he scored the goal in the centre of the pitch, which is where he does all of his good work. He's not really that great on the left wing. I don't want to see him play left wing. I think it's just a position that he can play it. Listen, we see he played very well against United and against Chelsea there. But for somebody who relies heavily on his pace and his movement, and we haven't got Lacazette doing any of that at the minute, why are we wasting Aubameyang on the left? He got a red card. It was a straight red. He looked in bits when he was sent off. He now knows he's going to be out for 3 games, including the Chelsea away. And he's the club captain. He should know better than going in on a tackle on the halfway line. Why was he doing it? Why was he doing that? And for the sending off alone, I'm marking him right down. He would have been up there with Maitland-Niles and Herrera and then David Luiz if he had carried on playing how he'd done in the first half, if he'd continued that into the second half. Because I thought in the first half he was really good. But I'm going to give him a 5. Yeah, so getting a sending off when you're on the halfway line, when we're in a game, after winning the game, being 1-0 up in the game, and then you go and do that. Absolute clueless. What were you doing? But I ain't going to knock him too much. He scored the goal yesterday. So listen, 5 out of 10. Pepe. Weren't great, was he? Let's be real. Weren't great at all. For me, their goal, he was watching the guy. He was watching Ayew. He was just standing there. Go and watch the replay of the goal again. You see Pepe standing, looking at Ayew, and don't even move. He just stands there with his arms out, going like that. Why aren't you going to closing him down? Going forward, I thought he was poor. Apart from the shot that he had at the post, good save from the goalkeeper, by the way. But other than that, he was rubbish yesterday. I'm going to mark him a 4. I don't think he was great at all. Now let's come to a.f.c. Gets an assist, so whatever. It was a straight pass. It was a good pass, but what did he do? Other than that, literally nothing again. Literally nothing. And like I said, I'm not going to sit and rip him apart because I've done that in the last 3 weeks. He's been crap. In fact, he's been crap all season. Let's be real. But I'm going to give him a 1. And that's because he turned up at the game. That's it. He's getting a 1. He needs to be dropped. Although now we can't drop him because Aubameyang's out. So do we drop him and put Martinelli up front? And then we're relying on an 18-year-old kid to be the talisman? Or do we hope that Laka comes good? It's a difficult one. But we're accommodating Lacazette up front by putting Aubameyang, the best striker at the club, one of the best strikers in the league, on the left wing. Why? I would rather go with Martinelli up front if you're going to put Aubameyang left wing. At least Martinelli looks like he's going to do something when he comes on. So yeah, 1. Let's move on to Martinelli. I'm going to give him a 4. I don't think he was on for long enough. I think he should have come on about 10, 15 minutes earlier. I was calling for it. Me and Chiga sat there on the watch along. We were saying he should be on. And 10 minutes later, after the red card happened, he comes on. But again, he looked lively when he come on. I'm going to give him a 4. Like I said, he weren't on long enough for me to get any higher than that. Reece Nelson weren't on for, well, there's no point even marking him. And Guendouzi made a couple of nice little tackles when he came on. Brought a couple of tackles in our box when we were under pressure. But the amount of times he went over halfway and just kept hold of the ball instead of releasing Pepe down the wing, it was doing my head in. Some of the passes he was doing was sloppy, like worse than Xhaka sloppy. So I thought bang average when he came on. And I wouldn't say, I've seen a lot of people saying that when he came on, they knew the game was over because Torreira went off and they knew that he was going to cost us it. He didn't cost us the game. Too many players didn't turn up yesterday. Too many players didn't turn up how they played against Man United. Couple that with the substitution of Torreira coming off and him coming on. Add that with the fact Arteta didn't sub on Martinelli early enough for Mesut Ozil. Add in Aubameyang getting sent off. All of them things added up into us not winning that game. But Guendouzi, I'm going to give him a 3. I'm going to give him a 3. Very erratic yesterday. As for the manager, starting 11 spot on. I thought you can't, like I said, you can't change a winning team. A team that keeps a clean sheet against Man United deserves to go again. So for that, well done. I thought that the substitution for Guendouzi coming on was forced on him. You can't knock that. That was all we had, really. But the substitution of Martinelli for Ozil, what took you so long? You could see we were being overrun in midfield. You could see Mesut Ozil wasn't doing anything. You could see that Guendouzi, Xhaka and Ozil are weak. They don't work together. What took you an eternity to make that substitution? And the only reason he did it is because Aubameyang got sent off. So for that wound me up. But after the game, he said about he was unhappy about the way we conceded the goal, etc., etc. I hope he kicks the hell out of him in training then. Yeah, because it's all well and good talking a good game. It's all well and good talking this and talking that. And listen, he is talking a very good game in a minute. And by and large, he's back in it. So can't really knock him. But yesterday, I can knock him. He made that sub, and he only done that sub because Aubameyang got sent off. He would not have subbed Mesut Ozil off when he did if Aubameyang hadn't got sent off. So I'm going to rate Arteta yesterday bang average 5. A bang average 5. And he's got to fix up, especially in away games. Listen, it's all well and good doing it at home, which is great. Away's been our Achilles heel for, 3 years, 4 years? He needs to fix their mentality. Why didn't he get into them at half time and say, why have you stopped pressing? You know, he kicked their asses against Leeds the other night and they came out and put a performance in. At half time, we'd dropped 10 yards deeper than what we were, 15, 20 yards deeper. So why didn't he kick the fuck out of them at half time and tell them to get back out there and get on it? And if he did, they didn't respond. So I don't know. Listen, these players will shaft him unless he gets rid of a lot of them in the summer. So there we go. Anyway, that's it. Let's do about 7 or 8 minutes of your comments and questions. Do drive the likes up. I'd appreciate it. Thank you to Highbury. It says sell Lacazette. Well, yeah, listen, if we can get £50 million, sell him. He's not the be-all and end-all of this football club, is he? None of them are. Yeah, so they're all surplus to requirements if we get the right money. Simple as that. It's all about the good of the football club, not the good of one player or the good of one player's set of fans that support that one player more than the club. Martinelli 5 for me, great skill for the Pepe chance. Yeah, he did do a great bit of skill, Ilias, actually. He's always lively, though, man. Always lively when he comes on. He plays better as a striker, says Chris. He actually done more in the 10 minutes or so he was on the pitch, or 15 minutes he was on the pitch than Ozil done in the last 2 games. So it's baffling why we don't start Martinelli over Lacazette. Arteta should get rid of some of these players before they cost him his job. Exactly. Afternoon to you, DS Electronics. We need some good, young, hungry defenders. Afternoon to Marble Halls. Subscribe to him if you're not already. I'd sell Laka and Aubameyang and get some defenders in, says Marble Halls. Well, listen, this is the thing, right? We could sell both of them for about £100 million. We're going to buy a proper centre-back and a proper midfielder and put Martinelli up front and Pepe. Well, yeah, we might be worse off in goals. We'd be better without conceding so many. So we'd probably still win the same amount, if not more anyway. Samwari sent off a Lille against Dion, says Mikey. That could be his last game, mate. That could be his last game now then. Same with Aubameyang. Listen, has he played his last game? I don't know. Martinelli Pepe is a younger and cheaper, says Javier. Listen, Martinelli, we need to sign him up to a new deal, mate. Do you think KDB will break Henry's record? How many assists has he got today? He was on 12 in the league before today. He's going to hammer that record, mate. Swap Troy Deeney for Pepe. You're on that cush again, bruv. He's got 2 assists today, yeah? So he's on 14. He's going to beat it. He'll beat it, man. He'll beat it. And that's 14, which, by the way, when was the last time our superstar got double figures? My man's done that in a team that have struggled this season as well. Take Ozil to Spain. No, thank you, Ali. I don't want to be in and around the company of him, my friend. 2-0 and it's 2 and it's half time. Jesus Christ. There we go. He'll get another one in the second half. He'll probably score a worldie. Gelson Fernandez is coming to White Hart Lane, says THFC 16. He's not a bad player, man. Not a bad player at all. And I watched, obviously did a watch along yesterday. Big up Claude for coming on and Chig right at the end as well. Tottenham played really well yesterday. And I've seen a lot of Tottenham fans moaning about how crap they've been recently. I thought they played really well. Listen, Liverpool are not an easy team to play against. On another day, Tottenham could have scored 2 or 3 goals. Swap Mahrez for Pepe, says Chris. Listen, I would have took Mahrez in a heartbeat, mate. I love that geezer. What happened between you and the other guy? Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Sometimes in life, my friend, things come back to bite people. Don't support your favorite YouTuber. Support your club, was saying he said a couple of weeks ago whilst talking about me and merchandise. Yeah. Now my man's asking for people to sign up to his membership schemes. Yeah. So I'm going to put this out there. Don't sign up to your favorite YouTuber's membership. Sign up to Arsenal memberships. Works both ways, doesn't it, mate? Yeah, and I just find it funny. Listen, at the end of the day, my man sits there on his high and mighty, giving it, I'm not in it for views or money. Bullshit. Why don't you just be honest, man? Yeah, because I'm on here for views and money. It's my fucking job. Yeah, so why don't you just be honest about it instead of being pretentious and being condescending and pompous and arrogant and thinking you're better than somebody else when clearly you're fucking not. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Is Tierney good enough? Says E-Boss. I do think he's good enough. Listen, it's a shame that he's come to Arsenal. With an injury in the first place when he started here. Then he's got an injury. Then he's had to have surgery. We ain't going to see the best of him until next season, unfortunately, mate. So we should have just brought him next summer or this summer coming. If you had the opportunity to sign any Spurs players, who would you sign? Son, definitely. I rate that geezer, man. And as much as he plays for that lot and I can't stand him, let's be real. He's a good player, man. I think he's their best player. Yeah, and Tottenham always looked better without Kane in the team. Yeah, it was towards the end of Thierry Henry at Arsenal, it was getting like that. It was like we looked better when Henry left. Yeah, because everyone was just, we've got to give the ball to Henry. I think Tottenham players have a little bit of that. We have to give the ball to Kane. We have to give it to Kane. Whereas when I'll give an example, right? Lucas Moura bags a hat-trick in the Champions League semi. Kane comes back. Bruv, you're on the bench for the final. If I was Lucas Moura, I would have gone straight after that game and handed a transfer request in. Yeah, I would have told him straight, I got you to the fucking final, mate. Yeah, so Eriksen, yeah, I'll take Eriksen. I like Eriksen, man. Son, Eriksen, and if we're being honest, probably both their centre-backs. Probably all of this. Hey, listen, big up that young lad yesterday as well. He looked really good, man. Tanganga, his name is, I think. He looked really, really good. You sometimes lack professionalism. Mate, I'm not trying to be professional. Yeah, I'm not trying to be professional, bruv, Christo. I'm not a journalist. I'm not media. I'm just me. I'm just an Arsenal fan with a YouTube channel, mate. Other people think they're in the media and would like to get into the media, which is why they want to do a more professional look. Cool, man. That's each to their own. I'm not. I'm one guy sat on my sofa in my living room talking into a MacBook. I ain't trying to get into the media, mate. If I wanted to do it more professional, then there'd be a reason that I'd want to do it more professional, and that'd be ultimately to go and get a job in that field. I ain't after a job. Yeah, I'm after just giving my opinion. So listen, I'll rate your opinion, mate. Thank you very much. But I'm not trying to be professional. I'm just doing what I do. Just talking, man. Yeah, Tangangi Tanganga even had a good game yesterday, says Bagman. Don Lee says, TM, thank you, bruv. Ericsson is playing crap this season. He is playing very crap. I can't even lie. He was missing yesterday, MIA like Mesut Ozil. But he wants out, man. And that's where the manager, Jose, should say, look, you ain't playing. You are not playing. Because if he ain't going to play properly, bin him. What is the temperature at yours? Today it was up to 19. Let's see what it is currently. Currently it's 16. So yeah, not bad. Not bad. I was sat down by the pool earlier, getting a nice little bit of a tan, hence why my hair looks a mess. And I probably do need to shave this little bum fluff off my face. We love you, Don Lee. Thank you, Sexual Vanilla. Big up yourself. Do you think Mr. Missing will be sold in the summer? Says a Arsenal 942. Listen, he's down to the last year of his contract in the summer. So we're going through this whole process again with him. If it was me, I'd just pay him the 18 million quid and tell him jog himself on. And it would be a jog because that's all he does. So yeah, I'd get rid of him and I'd buy his contract out. Let's be honest here. Yeah? Who is going to buy him? Nobody's going to pay him the money. Nobody's going to pay him pay a transfer fee plus that money. The only way he leaves is on a free. Yeah, and that's what he'll do. He'll run his contract down again, and it'll be, will he stay, won't he stay, will he stay, will he stay? Raul and Vinay need to back their talk. They said that anyone in the last 2 years of their contract, if we offer them a new deal and they don't sign it, we're selling them. Well, that goes for Aubameyang, that goes for Laka in the summer. Summer coming. In fact, he's down to 2 years already, I think. David Luiz, Socrates, Mesut Ozil, Mustafi. There's 6 players that are all going to be in the last 2 years or are in the last 2 years of their contract. I don't want to see all 6 of them here next season. Yeah, because if they are all here and they've not signed a new contract, Raul can pack his bags and take the Sri Lankan Gazidis with him. Yeah, because like I just think that, you know, it's all lip service. It's all talk. How about start doing some actions? You know, and I'm sick and tired of all the talk, which is why when I said about Arteta, when Arteta came in, yeah, it's great that Arteta's sitting there talking what he's saying, and it's nice to hear. I've wanted a manager to be straight up honest, and he is doing that. But he's got a lot of work to do, man. These players are going to snake him all day long. They've done it with Wenger. What makes anybody think that they're not going to do it with this guy? Surely they rated Wenger and respected Wenger more than Mikel Arteta, and they snaked Wenger. Yeah, they've snaked Unai Emery. They didn't even bother turning up or raising their game for Freddie. So he's got big decisions to make. He's got to get rid of some of them players, a lot of them players. And the ones I've just named, the 6 in the last 2 years, if all of them are still here next season, Raul and Vinay can jog on. Any news on Mustafi? 2 clubs want him, apparently. So, yeah, we shall find out this week, hopefully. Hopefully there is a God. Somebody up there is going to take Mustafi. Ozil was casual again. He must have smoked my zoot before the game. Says Christos, afternoon to you. My battery on this Mac is on 14%, so I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. Talk is cheap. Show featuring Arteta, Raul and Stan. Nice on Hacks. Would you take Lucas Moura? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, mate. I think, listen, he's a good player. I wouldn't have him at Arsenal, though. I'd take Son, though, definitely. Would you take Alan Hoglu? I probably butchered his name. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. We've been linked to that guy for the last 2-3 seasons. Don't want him. Good player, not good enough in my opinion. So yeah, not for me. Lee, it's the same bloke that sells. No, it's not. It's not, mate. It's not Mark. It's not him, mate. It's not him. It's not him. It's oh, Jesus Christ. When are you coming strip club, bro? Listen, I don't know. I don't know if my missus watches this, bro. I can't be coming no strip clubs. I'm getting the bunting out if Mustafi goes. Party poppers, bunting, champagne, the lot. You need a shave. I know, man. I need a haircut and a shave. Look at the state of my hair, man. Look, Jesus Christ. Would you take Memphis Depay? No, I wouldn't, Philip. I don't like him. So overrated, it is unbelievable. Your stadium might be full. Yeah, come on, man. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, like we know that you're having the same issues at Tottenham with not selling your stadium out. Do you think we should sign Ceballos permanently? No, not on the performances I've seen so far. Should we bring back Malin from PSG? See, I'd be open to bringing him back. Majib, I'd bring him back. I'd be open to that. I'll DM you on Insta. Yeah, do it, Dante. Do it. We should be trying to sign Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, he's a very good player. Very good player. I think he's going to end up at United, though, if I'm being honest. So yeah. How many signings does Arteta need to change? How many signings does Arteta need to change the team? Says Ariel 11 a.m. Probably about 6 or 7. I think we need a left back, a right back, 2 centre backs. So there's 4 players. We need a box-to-box midfielder. So there's 5. I think we need a left winger. There's 6. 6 players. I think we're good to go. And the reason I'd say 6 and a left back and a right back in that, get rid of Bellerin, keep Maitland-Niles, go and get a right back. So then we've got Maitland-Niles and another. We've got Tierney, get rid of Kolasinac, go and get another. Maybe get Max Aarons on the right, go and get somebody else on the left. And 2 centre-backs. I'm not including Saliba in that. I'm talking another 2 centre-backs. Do you know what's funny, Mark? Yeah? Somebody said to me the other day I look like Chris Martin. Yeah? Somebody said that to me the other day. I was like, I don't see it, man. I don't look like Chris Martin. What's the matter with you people? Where's Wenger ball? All right, listen, man. I ain't even saying nothing, yeah? The reactionary levels of Arsenal fans at times makes me laugh, mate. 2 good games and everyone's knocking one out. I see somebody put a video up, yeah? It's had nearly 1 million views, yeah? Prime Mesut Ozil is back under Arteta is the title. What, because he's had 2 good games in 4 years? Okay, then. Listen, on that note, I'm going to get myself out of it. This battery's on 10%. I'll be fully charged up for 9 o'clock. I will be back at 9 o'clock. Drive the likes up before I go, please. I would appreciate that. All my social medias are in the description. Memberships will be coming soon because that's flavour of the month right now. I wonder whether we'll have a meltdown that I've started doing that one. The reason mine haven't been done, I've had that in place for maybe, I don't know, 2 months. But I'm waiting for the website to be built for this, which is why he had a meltdown about me in the first place. And so, yeah, what I wanted to do is drop both together rather than doing one without the other. So keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully in the next week or so, the website will be finished. And then we'll get the memberships up and running as well. And if you want to take part, you can. If you want to get some merch, you can. If not, you don't have to. It's pretty straightforward. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Anyway, on that bombshell, people, love to you all. Thanks for the support as always. And big up 366 watching live. Go and check my Facebook out and my Insta. I would really appreciate that. Laters, I'll see you at 9 o'clock. Bye.